Hello, Splinterlands players. Hope you're all doing pretty good. This is Steve, and I'm joining you today for the Share Your Battle challenge that Splinterlands does that we all like to take part in because we get rewarded for doing this. And today they picked one of the new death reward cards, which is kind of nice because you could level it up really easy because it only costs one penny. And it's a much better card than people thought. I think this is Phantasm. Hopefully I said that correctly, but that's what it looks like to me. So first, we're going to go over to take a look at the card. I always like to break them down a little bit. So he's a 6 mana cost card. I have him pictured here at level 9 because this is what I went ahead and leveled him up to. I only had him at level 4. I invested a whole $2 into the game. I bought a few credits, got him up to here. I didn't pay the extra dollar yet to get him to here because I figure I will earn 100 more cards, hopefully, and or at least I'll see how close I can get to getting him here just by earning rewards as opposed to buying that last little amount to level him up. The reason I pushed him to here is in my battle, if I was going to try to use this guy, I wanted to have Retaliate. It's an interesting card. So for 6 cost, it has a very good speed and it flies, and a pretty solid life total with 9, and it gets up to 10. So it's a solid card, but it's very weak against magic, right? Because return fire helps to at least if some high level archers are going to attack you, he's going to send that damage back. And it's just it doesn't look like a great card. And this happens a lot to death cards, right? You look at him and you're just like, mages will kill him fast. Archers that there's some archers in the game that can hit for 5 or 6. They're going to melt that 9 life. He's 6 mana, so he doesn't fit into low mana matches, so he's going to face those strong cards. He flies, so flying 6 speed, he's going to get some misses from some of the slower tanks in the game. But what else can he do? I mean, he's going to die quick, right? But then you got to remember the theme of the death team. And this is something a lot of people maybe don't fully see about the death team, but they are a control-ish team. The most control-ish team, I think, in the game. You can tell me if you disagree. But they have the most cards that can lower attack, lower ranged attack, lower magic attack. I mean, they're one of the few teams that you can play, like, I'll go here and I'll just show you here looking at the death team, and I'll limit it to Untamed and Alpha. This should give you an idea of and rewards. Okay, so you can play Mimosa to give -1 archers, or you can then play this card right here for just 2 mana for -1 attack and -1 or to range. You can play this one to get a third -1 to the ranged attack. You can play him to get you a silence. You can play this card here to get a -1 attack. You can play him to take away armor from the other team. Then if these are all kind of higher mana cost cards, right? Except for obviously this one. But if you can't fit him in for the mage silence, they also have, where is he? Because I probably won't. Right here, this one, only 3 cost. So you can protect him a lot. Oh, and Mimosa would give him Void. So then all of a sudden, that 9 life is 18 magic damage. So while on his face, Phantasm might not seem like an amazing tank, on the team he fits a role. And I'll tell you the role I think he fits. He fits no healing lower mana matches, because they don't have a good tank to come in the when you don't want to use Haunted Spirit, right? If there's no life, or maybe there's no mages, then you're like, wow, no healing, no mages, no reflect. All of a sudden, all his abilities are neutralized, maybe by a rule set, or his abilities are cut in half by a rule set. And you're like, I don't want to use him. And then when you go to the other tanks, I mean, you got this guy here. He's okay, but not spectacular. This one's not that good either. He's doesn't work in low mana, right? Both these 5/9. You have the amazing new legendary tank, but he costs 10. So are you going to give up all your mana to play those cards? Well, your options really used to just be this card or this card in those mid mana games. Now you got this card. And tell me who's better. Both 3 cost. One 6 speed, one 4 speed. One has retaliate, one has double strike. So he'll always hit twice. He sometimes could hit twice. He'll return fire and he'll fly so people will miss him. I like this card a little bit better. This one's good though, but I like this one better. So now let's go ahead and go to the battle. I'll try to speed this up a little bit. I didn't want to make this video that long, but I thought I would defend my purchase of the card and then come and show you an interesting fight where I did do an attempt to show you some of the control in a middle to low mana match and how he can be used. So let's bring up the match. We'll go ahead and talk about the battle once I get the rule set up and you can see the lineups. This is kind of a classic lineup for life. Let's go ahead and do a pause. You're going to see him get his armor. I'm going to do a -1 attack to all of these guys. I took a chance here and played this card, trying to put blind and a -1 attack on the other team for 2 mana with Super Sneak, expecting there to be a lot of mages. I was hoping I wouldn't run into a Magic Reflect mage. I did, so this was kind of a mistake, but it did help me a tiny bit, and you'll see why. He played very fast monsters that attacked before I did, and so I had -2 attack on the cat for the first part of this fight. So we'll get this going again. And then let me talk about my setup. So I put the chicken here just to kind of take a hit because I wanted him to take a hit in the front. Followed up by the shielded tank with armor that I thought would be able to last one-on-one for a little while putting the Thorns high-speed monster, a flying high-speed monster, both with pretty good attack. Hopefully these two we're going to be able to pound through the back rows and return damage with Retaliate and Thorns before they got through these guys, before the tank really pulled them into the front row. And we'll see if this works. I mean, I did go against somebody who played a pretty classic sneak, speed, armor and melee only, extra armor. This was an interesting position. I think the one mistake he made was put this here instead of that there. These should have been flip-flopped. If you're playing this card just for the armor and it's super sneak, you don't put him where you can get killed first. It didn't end up mattering a ton because I have Thorns here and his armor did help him out by the time I killed this, but we'll go ahead and watch the fight now. So there's the first summoner debuff of one that lowered them back down to 2. Here's the other one. Unfortunately, I don't get to keep them in this situation, but see there I got a miss, maybe because of blind, and then only doing 1 damage there, so I got rid of his shield. Now my guy dies, so that was a gamble play. I don't know if it worked out, but it did help me for that 1 attack maybe where I got the miss here. Now those things fall off. I still have my Thorns, so I'm going to start churning through that armor. Here's my attack. Luckily, I did have 3 on that first attack, so I did kill his armor creator on my first turn. Here, the chicken does what it was really supposed to do, and that was just take a hit, knowing that my 3-speed tank might be able to attack when he moved to the front row, and it worked. And if not, he just would have done a sneak attack. Either way, that would have been okay. So there's the Thorns. There's the Thorns too. This is where the -1 attack was big because I survived this attack here, and now I'm able to get through this silly little chicken that's in my way. And I'm going to deal Thorns damage 1 more time. It's still kind of looking pretty even to me at this point. I wouldn't say for sure that you might think I'm going to win this fight at this time. I do have a good life total in the back though with a 9 cost tank. 9 life tank, and we'll see here if he does his job. So there we go. We got our first retaliate. He didn't get a miss though, but then he did get a hit on that cat, and that is an impressive feat sometimes. That feral cat with that high speed gets misses quite a bit. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, there's another retaliate. We're going to go here. There's a miss. Flying with 6 speed, even their 6 speed monster missed once. And you can see my shield tank is doing his job in the front and just not dying quickly. There we go. Another retaliate. Sorry about that. Let me hide this. Then we get our super sneak attack, and now you can see that even though he's just a common little monster, he really dominated that situation against those monsters because he was fast, he got the retaliates in, and he was able to take out that entire back row, and now he's going to be able to help me get through his shielded tank, because the nice thing about it is his base attack of 3 is going to deal 2. That's something else that's really important, that he's not a 2 attack, because then he'd only be dealing 1. And right here in round 9, the match is going to come to an end. So I hope you liked my little look at the Phantasm card. I hope you understand a little bit now how you can use it, and if you're interested, you can go ahead and pick this card up. Even though I bought quite a few for a penny, there are still quite a few more for a penny. So if you're looking for a tank on the death team that can surprise you, be more playable, give you another card in Super Sneak or Melee only, I think the card is usable, and you can get him to, right about here. I'd want him here. That's $1, and you could get him here. That way you have the 3 life, the 5 speed, and the 3 attack, 8 life, 5 speed, and the return. I'd get the extra HP back for the 40 extra cards. And really, if you can push him to here, if you can spend $1.50 and get that 6 speed, this is probably where you want him at minimum, as long as you can play a level 7. If you can play a level 9 in your deck, if you're up here at the higher levels, then you want this one right here, because you saw how good Retaliate was there, right? Especially in that format of the fight. Okay, thanks everybody. I hope you have a good day. Bye.